We've been married for how many years? 14?
13.
13, almost 14.
We've always wanted to live outside of the United States.
To me, that's like my dream of the world, is there's diversity and unity at the same time.
It's not offensive or anything, it's just kind of funny.
Right. Here are 3 phrases you will hear in the first part of the video. Cross-cultural communication, things to avoid, be careful when. But maybe these are not the phrases you need the most right now, so go to VosaLearning.com so the Vosa Coach can help you learn what you really need. Hi everybody, I'm here with my wife Emma. Emma, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. We're here at the beach. Beautiful beach. What's the name of this beach, Emma?
This beach is called La Cuvette.
La Cuvette. And we're in the beautiful island of Mauritius. We're coming out of the winter and into the summer. I don't know if winter and summer are the right terms for the seasons in Mauritius. Sometimes they say dry season, rainy season. No?
I've only ever heard winter and summer.
Oh, there you go. Winter and summer. So it's starting to get warmer.
Yeah.
Are you warm?
I am warm. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice. But in the sun, it's warmer.
In the sun, it's warm, but the breeze is perfect.
Yeah.
The ocean is right behind us, and I would love to jump in. So maybe after the video. We'll see. What we're talking about today is cross-cultural communication. We'll talk about cross-cultural communication, some tips, some things to avoid, some mindset tricks, and also, especially as Americans who are English speakers, some things that we have experienced that you need to be careful when you're communicating with an American or an English speaker. We'll talk about things that you might intend to say, but the impact that it could have on the person you're talking to.
Let's start.
The opportunity came up. A great mix of cultures. People from all over the world. People get along. So, we've lived in Mauritius for
2 years?
2 years, over 2 years now. And Mauritius is a great mix of cultures. French, English, Creole is spoken predominantly by locals.
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans. You have German tourists and Spanish tourists and Chinese tourists, and people from all over the world come here because it's so beautiful and it's a peaceful place to live. And one of the things I love the most about Mauritius is how people from different cultures live together, and also, of course, how we communicate with each other. Do you want to tell why we moved to Mauritius and what you love about it?
Sure. So, in 2023,
Yeah.
the opportunity came up for Pat to join his family's business, which is in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's an English language learning institute. We've always wanted to live outside of the United States just to try it and try something new.
Yep.
So we thought this would be the perfect opportunity. We knew that we didn't want to live in Kinshasa. It's kind of hectic. So we started Googling where we could find a visa that would let us live closer than where we lived in Utah in the United States. And we found Mauritius, which had a fairly new digital nomad visa, which would allow us to live here. I had never heard of Mauritius before, so we looked up some pictures and it looked like this. So I said, great, sign me up.
Yeah. I love geography, And I have always been proud of my knowledge of geography, but honestly, I did not know Mauritius. I think I knew the name, it was familiar.
Okay.
And I'm sure that on an exam in school, at one point, I must have memorized the location of Mauritius, the capital, Port Louis, Port Louis, but I didn't know it until we were searching for someplace to live close to Congo.
It's
like you
really,
said.
really small.
It's small.
Yeah.
The thing I love about Mauritius is it's peaceful, it's calm, and there are lots of religions, lots of languages, lots of ethnicities, and people get along. To me, that's like my dream of the world, is there's diversity and unity at the same time. Yeah, yeah. That is one of the reasons I love language so much, is because learning a new language strengthens diversity and unity at the exact same time. In charge of, for a period of time, intent versus impact, close the gap. But let's talk about cross-cultural communication.
Okay.
You have experience communicating with people here in Mauritius. You also were in charge of the social media accounts for my family's English training center in Congo for a period of time. And so you have experience communicating with Congolese clients who are French speakers, and they speak other languages, of course, but often they would communicate with you on social media in French, or they would communicate with you on social media using English as French speakers who are learning English.
Yes.
You could see the meaning of the thing they wanted to say, but for you as a native English speaker and an American, it had a different meaning when it finally arrived to you.
Yeah. And even living in Mauritius, I've seen some things like that as well.
Right. In cross-cultural communication and in any communication, there is this concept that I learned years ago in the United States about intent versus impact. So intent is what I want to communicate, and impact is what you hear. It's how you receive it. So my intention and then the impact on you. And in communication, we're trying to close those two things so that I can communicate and it has the impact that I want to share. We've been married for how many years? 14?
13.
13, almost 14. 13 years. And so we have learned a lot about how when I am speaking, I have something I'm trying to communicate, and sometimes it has the wrong impact on you. And so it's always a process in any relationship, in any communication, to close the gap between intent and impact.
Definitely.
Grew up hearing, kind of old-fashioned, passive-aggressive. It has a different impact. Can you share some examples?
So the first one that comes to mind that makes sense cognitively, but not culturally as an American, and I don't think it is used really in British English either. But when someone, doesn't matter if they're a stranger or an acquaintance or a close friend, they will call you dear. Like, yes, dear,
Right.
or sorry, dear.
Right.
I know what they are saying. It's not offensive or anything. It's just kind of funny
Right.
because it's not something that I grew up hearing.
Right.
In the United States, when you call someone dear, it's more of like an endearment thing. Like some husbands and wives will call each other dear.
For a close relationship.
Yeah, or like a mother might call her child dear.
Right.
But that's kind of old-fashioned.
It is old-fashioned, yeah. And I think if you heard it now, like if a stranger in America called you dear,
Yeah,
what would the situation be?
if an older person, like a very old person, called me dear.
And that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. If a young person called you dear, it's probably a situation where they are being, we would say, passive aggressive.
Yeah, it would feel condescending.
Yes.
Unless it was clearly a joke.
Right.
But
Right.
if it was not clearly a joke, it would feel condescending.
Rude.
And like, yeah. But again, when French speakers call me dear, I'm not offended. It doesn't feel condescending.
Right.
At the beginning, when we first moved here, it was really funny to me, and now it's just normal.
Right. So it's interesting to see how there are things that you would say in French, for example, and if you translate them to English, it has a different impact. And so your intent is to be respectful, and your intent is to be caring, but to an American who isn't familiar with French, it could feel potentially offensive. Give someone the benefit of the doubt. Don't let it slow you down. Sets the stage for with this advice and any advice that you get on how to communicate in a way that closes the distance between your intent and the impact you have on the listener, don't let the advice slow you down. You need to just communicate and speak. And I think that if you do it with an attitude of respect and enthusiasm, it will be clear to the listener that you're trying to communicate something, and they will, we would say, give you the benefit of the doubt, which means to give someone the benefit of the doubt means you understand that they're trying, that their intent is good, even though the impact wasn't so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think generally, most people are very patient
Yeah.
with someone who's learning a new language like English,
Right.
and will just be impressed that you're trying.
Yeah.
So I would say just be brave, and if you're humble about it and also come at the conversation with a little sense of humor, like, oh,
Right.
I can't remember that word.
Right.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
People are very, very happy to teach someone something or help out with anything.
Yeah, it's interesting that the attitude that you bring into the conversation, it sets the stage for how they should react. So if you come into the conversation feeling nervous, then maybe they're gonna feel a little nervous too. If you come in open and honest and authentic and friendly and say, I'm practicing my English, can you help me with this? I'm sure they will be willing to help. It's interesting, there's a stereotype that French people are not helpful as you're learning French. But in my experience, at least here in Mauritius, and maybe it's the weather or the ocean or something, and that has not been the case. So if you're French and you're watching this video, write in the comments how you see it as a French person. If you meet an American who's trying to speak French, what do you think about that? Because for me, meeting friends and neighbors and people here from France, when I try to speak French, they're very helpful.
Yeah.
You have to have an attitude of respect. And if you're showing respect and humility to show I don't know everything, then people are willing to help.
Yeah.
Show off. I would love your feedback. I could tell. I've also seen At the English center that my family has in Congo, certain students who felt really confident in their English, and they would talk to me, but they wanted to show off, meaning they wanted to demonstrate their skill and their ability.
Or like their knowledge of this one single grammar rule.
Right. That makes it harder for me to help them, because I can see in that moment they don't want my help. They want me to
Praise them. Yeah.
And it's hard because they would make mistakes, of course, because you're learning. But then in that situation, I don't feel like they wanted my help, and so I didn't give help. Whereas someone else would come and talk to me on the same level of English, and I could tell they were trying something and they wanted my help. They'd say, "Is this how you say this?" Or, "Can I say this in English?" I'd say, "Oh, of course." Or, "Try changing that a little." So again, I think just for me personally, if someone's coming to talk to me and they're learning English, if they approach me with an attitude of, "I would love your feedback," I am really eager to help. But if they come and they are either nervous, then it's hard to give feedback, or if they want to show off, then my assumption is they don't want my feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's important to remember that grammar principles are, of course, important because, you have to understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, the point of learning a new language is not to know specific rules about tiny little grammar details. The end goal of learning a new language is to be able to communicate with someone who speaks that language. And just personally, I do not know a lot of grammar rules. I got bad grades in middle school on my grammar tests. Don't stress if you feel like you're getting confused by the grammar. The conversational part of the language is the most important.
Yeah. You can communicate with someone who doesn't have perfect grammar, who doesn't have a perfect accent.
Yeah.
Sometimes there might be a point in the conversation where you actually don't know what they meant, but you can ask a question to clarify that.
Yeah.
Her accent is strong. You reach a point in the conversation. English is wonderful because it is universal. One thing that I have told people who were learning English to encourage them is I've told them about our dear friend Colette, who's from Scotland. Colette is Scottish and her accent is strong. I think it's not as strong as it used to be.
Yeah, it's like a mix of English and Scottish.
Yeah, but even for us sometimes, because of her accent or because she'll use a different word than we would use in America, you reach a point in the conversation where we have to pause and say, "What did you mean?"
Wait, what did you say? And she would do the same to us too.
Right. She'd say, what did you say? I don't know what that means. Yeah.
She would also tease me for saying very American things like, "Awesome, so cool."
Right. Just like I would tease her for saying brilliant. Like, "Oh, brilliant." Yeah, that's not something an American would say.
Yeah.
And so English is wonderful because it is universal. You go to Hong Kong, Tokyo, Dubai, South Africa, Rio de Janeiro, anywhere you go, there are English speakers. And not native English speakers necessarily, but people who are communicating with each other in English. Chinese person talking to a German person, they use English. And so English doesn't belong to England anymore. It doesn't belong to America. It doesn't belong to any culture or people or country. It's everybody's. It belongs to everyone. And so You don't need to feel fear like you're not speaking perfectly or you don't sound like an American,
Right.
or if you're going to London, you're nervous about not sounding British. Just remember, it's about communication, and people all around the world use this language to communicate. And so there's really sort of a global version of English that is always changing, and it belongs to all of us. There are times when you want to learn more specifics about British English or American English or South African, right? And having little specific things that you use in any of those versions of English will help you communicate with people from that area, and you should learn those too. In Vosa, you can tell the Vosa Coach, I'm going to England next month. I'm traveling to South Africa. Whatever the situation is, and the Vosa Coach will know, oh, here's something you could use in your meeting or when you see people on the street.
Or that you'll hear
Yeah.
when you're talking to people. The one that comes to mind for me is in South Africa, they will say now,
Yeah.
now, or just now.
Right.
And they all mean very different things about time frames.
Right.
I can never remember. I always Google it.
Now means later,
No, I thought now was
Now.
right now.
and now means later.
Yeah, I think.
And there are a million of these differences.
Yeah.
And so that's, again, one of the reasons Vosa is so helpful, is because you're not stuck with one version of English.
Right.
You're going to tell it, I need help with this, or I'm preparing for this, and it can guide you
Yeah.
on your specific need.
Yeah.
They speak a different version of English. There are a lot of different variations. We're gonna figure it out.
We have 2 children, and our children go to school with Mauritian kids, South African
African.
kids, some Australians,
It's really mostly Mauritians and South Africans.
mostly Mauritians and South Africans.
Yeah.
And so our children speak a different version of English than we do.
Yeah. And we've only been here for 2 years.
Yeah,
It's really funny. We would call where you put trash the trash can,
right.
or throw it in the trash,
The trash,
but they call it the bin.
the bin. Yeah.
Or we would say, may I please use your restroom? Or I need to go to the
I
bathroom.
need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and they say, I need the toilet.
I need the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're learning English, just know that there are a lot of different variations of how people use English, little words, little phrases, and you can use the Vosa Coach to help you prepare for the specific situation that you're in. And then when it actually comes to communicating, just try. just don't worry, just try. Going back to the earlier part of the conversation about the attitude that you have, if you approach it like in this conversation, you're a partner with the person you're talking to, they are going to join that partnership with you, and you're going to figure it out together.
Yeah. And I would also just say, don't overthink it, because humans are really smart. Like, we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, you're gonna figure it
It's going
out.
to be fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
One story that comes to mind. We started talking. The result of your effort.
I have always loved cross-cultural communication. One story that comes to mind was when we lived in Utah, and we were at the bus stop late in the evening, and there was a man there who had just missed the bus, and he was trying to go from our small town to the bigger city. And he was lost and kind of nervous, kind of scared.
Yeah, it was night. It was
It
dark.
was nighttime, it was dark, and that was the last bus. And he actually teaches English in China. He's an English teacher.
Yeah, to
in China,
kids.
for kids.
Yeah.
And we were with our oldest kid who was
I
maybe
think she was 2 or 3.
2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
And we said, well, I can take you down, no problem. And so we started talking, and he started talking to our kid. It was a good opportunity for him to practice his English with us and with our daughter. And I drove him to the city since he had missed the bus. And yeah, it's fun to form these little friendships.
That's so awesome.
And even him as an English teacher, his English wasn't perfect, but we could communicate.
But he could communicate.
He could communicate. To me, that was one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah, it was really heartwarming.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, a new friend.
Yeah.
From China.
Yeah. And so trying to speak English or trying to speak any new language, sometimes it makes me nervous, right? Anyone might feel nervous or afraid. But then you remember the result of your effort is new connection, new friendship. And yeah, that's the beauty of life, communication. It's so great.
Communicate clearly, not perfectly. Keep a sense of humor. English belongs to everyone.
As you are communicating with people in English, remember that any communication that gets your idea from you to them, that was a success. And you should aim to communicate clearly, not to speak perfectly.
Yeah.
And if you approach each conversation as sort of a partnership between two people and have an attitude of respect and humility and fun even,
Or humor.
then it can be an enjoyable experience and people will be more likely to help you. There are lots of little phrases, words that you might use that could potentially be confusing to the other person. But if you have that attitude of humor, respect, humility, you can help to communicate the meaning and close the distance between your intent and the impact on the other person. The Vosa Coach is going to help you to close that gap. You can go to vosalearning.com and try the Vosa Coach. The Vosa Coach always focuses on you and your goals. So the first question that you're asked when you meet the Vosa Coach is, why are you learning English? And that question and the answer to that question will guide everything else that you do inside of Vosa. And if your reason why changes, so does the Vosa Coach. If you're going to London this week and Cape Town the week after that, you can learn phrases that will help you in London, and then you can learn phrases that will help you in Cape Town. That's what I love about Vosa, is that it's personalized and it's a way of helping people connect across all different cultures. It's not trying to make everyone sound American or everyone sound British. It's about communication and understanding. And lastly, be brave. We're learning French, and sometimes it can be scary.
You're better at being brave than I am, because you know more.
I know a little more. And I've had to learn a language before. I had no choice but to speak a new language.
Right.
Yeah. So be brave, try it, laugh, have fun. Well, it's hot now. Are you hot?
I'm very hot.
I'm hot. I want to go get in the water.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I didn't bring a swimsuit, but you don't need a swimsuit to swim. You can swim in anything or nothing.
I guess so.
All right, we're gonna cool down. Thanks for joining us. See you next time
Okay.
on the Vosa channel. Emma did a
Bye.
great job.
Oh.
I think you should come back and do more videos with me.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Bye.